What's up, guys? Welcome back to the new video. My goal here is to start posting more on YouTube out here because I think it's a really good time to start, and I think there's a lot of value in here that you guys will like. So yeah, I'm out here out in my backyard. Pretty beautiful outside today. It's a bit chilly, that's why I'm wearing a sweatshirt, but won't stop me from making this video. So yeah, I don't really know where to start with this, but I've been thinking a lot about some of my recent experiences this summer. It's kind of led me to the point where I'm like, it's sort of like a feeling within me that I can't really describe. Maybe you guys have experienced it, but I feel like I have a lot more in me that I'm not really tapping into. Does that make sense? Like, I've done a lot of great stuff. Most of it has been athletic stuff. I've always been an athletic kind of guy. Did a lot of sports in high school. Made a lot of personal bests and things like that. Even in the gym, I've hit lots of cool PRs and done some crazy stuff, but I still feel like I have a lot in me, but not necessarily from that side. It's more about life experience that I still lack, but it's enough wisdom. I have enough wisdom to know that I have a lot more in me, a lot more potential, if that makes sense. So like there's an itching feeling in me that I can't exactly put my finger on. And I've had this reflection for a while, but I kind of put it in my subconscious. Through recent things, I've had that subconscious made itself more apparent, and it's really got me thinking, what I want to do later on. Because right now I'm training people, and it's great. I love it. I think there's more to it. I'm gonna start posting more on social media. I'm not doing that as much as I want to. And I think there's more of a thing that a lot of people just kind of put to the side. Most people just don't sit down like this and talk about their problems. Most people just avoid it, or most people either distract themselves, put it aside, or they don't talk about it to people. They don't. And that's not what I want to do. I want to talk about those things, maybe not in super detail, but I still want to talk about it, and I think you should too. That's the power of, I guess, sitting down with discomfort. Sitting down with that discomfort that you may not have it all figured out. I'm 21 years old, super young still. I still feel like I'm 19, 20. It's just gone by super quickly. But I'm super young. I actually had this conversation with my dad. He said most people aren't fully adults until they're maybe 26 to 28, around that range. And it makes sense. If we're younger than that, then we're not fully in adulthood yet, because we're still living off others, and we're not fully independent, if that makes sense. And I'm young. I'm still I'm still a baby in adult years, but it doesn't mean I don't know stuff. It doesn't mean that I don't have wisdom in me. I think that's another thing, just a side tangent, but I still think people can be very smart at an early age. I don't think there's not a certain age range or one point or another where you're, okay, now you're wise. It's you can be wise at 10, 15 years old. You can be stupid at 50 years old, Maybe that's Maybe that's just my opinion, but anyway, the recent events have made me sit down and actually think about discomfort. I think there's a lot of urgency that, 18 to 22 years old, there's a lot of urgency, especially in young men these days, but yeah, I just think there's a lot of urgency, and my advice is to just sit down with it. Sit down. You may not know everything there is. Maybe you don't know where to start, but just sit down with it. Sit down with the discomfort, and maybe even talk to someone with it, or talk to someone about it, or reflect on it, because that gives you a lot more reassurance that things will work out better than, or maybe that gives you even more worry. I don't know, but you don't want to escape from it. You don't want to hide from it. You don't want to run away and distract yourself from it. Yeah, so as I was saying, that's sort of, most people just don't sit down with that discomfort, and they don't listen to, they don't listen to their conscience. They don't listen to God or whoever you believe in. They don't sit down with that. And that's one of the main problems I see in a lot of young guys too. They get right into action and stuff, which is great, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you gotta slow down and say, hey, is this the right thing to do? Is it the correct thing to do? Maybe you don't, and that's why trial and error works well, right? But I just see far too many people just distract themselves when they shouldn't be. It's extremely hard nowadays. Trust me, I know. With social media, instant information, even information overload, as the biggest one. We have actually far too much information at times, and it can be overwhelming. But that's a whole other different problem. But people just don't have the patience to sit down anymore. They may have the will to sit down, or they may say they don't have enough time, which is understandable, but if you have time to go use the bathroom, if you have time to meal prep, if you have time to play video games, if you have time to scroll, if you have time to do whatever it is, well, you can replace some of that time with just stillness and reflection. It's very hard. Everyone wants to keep up to date with stuff, and I love that. That's great to connect with others and everything, but you gotta keep in mind that if you take just a week off from the news or social media and stuff, and actually just sit down and figure out what the hell you want to do, if you don't do that, then it's going to be very, very difficult. So, yeah. And likewise, I think people don't give themselves enough credit. That's a huge thing that I've felt. I'm my own worst critic. If you ask my mom, my dad, my brother, whoever, they'll say I put a lot of pressure on myself a lot of the times, and I need to sit back and say, Winston, you've done a lot. You've done great things. And give yourself some credit with that. I like to enjoy my summer out here. I don't like to stress too much about things that I can't control. And I also like to enjoy my time and have fun. I really do. As much as I love to preach hard work, preach discipline. If you're ever familiar with my content on Instagram, I preach that all the time. And I have done that for years. I've gone on runs where I don't have anything with me, and I'm just running 8, 10, 12 miles at a time, just not listening to anything. I gotta listen to myself at times. And I've done those hard, difficult things. I don't necessarily brag about it anymore. But I've done this hard stuff that not many people have ever done. So I gotta give myself credit for things that sometimes I feel behind. Sometimes I feel behind because there's like 22-year-olds who are making $1 million a month. Like, how do you do that? I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's got to be something involved with that, but, respect to them, but that's not the kind of life I want to live. I like to be out here, experiencing the present moment. I like to go for runs. I like to lift hard, lift heavy, lift hard. I like to go on adventures. I like to go on dates. I like to talk to people. I like to read. I like to write. I write all the time. You guys know that. I like to party. I love to party. I like to have a good time. I mean, that runs in my blood. My whole family loves having people over. And I do too. I love hosting parties. My family loves having people over all the time. And I like having fun. So sometimes I feel like I'm almost wasting my potential, because I know I can do a lot of things better than I am, which I was talking about, like sitting with that discomfort, being like, well, I can do more than I already am. But at the same time, I also want to enjoy my youth, enjoy the times I have for myself, to sit out here and talk to you guys. I love that. So, I don't know, maybe it's just an internal conflict of mine. I think a lot of people think the same way. But it's almost like a play hard party, play hard and work hard. Or work hard, play hard. I don't know what the term is, but I think there's a lot of truth in that. I think you have your work, you work hard, you work your ass off for that, and then you have your free time to do what you want. Sometimes people don't fully work hard, and it kind of bleeds into their free time, and their free time isn't fully their free time, and so they think they need to work a bit harder to, I guess, have more free time. So they're sort of like bleeding in each other, when maybe, like, while they are connected and they are part of the whole system, you have your work, you have your play. So when you're out here sitting down and thinking about what you want, what's missing, like there's certain puzzle. It's like, I feel like my whole life is a puzzle that I'm trying to piece together, but I don't have all the pieces, or I can't even find the box of pieces, and I think I bet there's a lot of percentage of young men out there who feel the same. And I guess my advice is to listen to that voice of, hey, you have more potential, but you're not doing the right things. So sit down and meditate on it. You may not know the answer right now. You may not know the answer in a month from now, or maybe even a year from now. But you still got to get out there and work. You still got to get out there and try different things. And again, that's where the play area comes in. People don't know how to play anymore. They're always stressed about, what they got to do the next day, and understandably so. But if you learn how to play right, enjoy life. Enjoy the simple things, like going out to the bar with your friends, or going on a date with a cute girl, or going to the beach, or going jet skiing, or hiking, or going to the movies, or whatever you do for your hobbies, playing guitar or playing video games even. Whatever you enjoy doing, do it at 100% capacity, because that gives you enough energy to, when you go back into work, be like, oh, maybe there's a light bulb switch. I just know what I need to do now. But again, it may take time. But have that free time, but also learn to incorporate those meditative experiences that say, yeah, what do I got to do? I'm missing something. God, give me a sign. Talk to people. Again, talk to people because they can help you reassure you. I've talked to a lot of my family members, and they've given me assurance that I'm doing good for myself. I'm not some millionaire, obviously. Not a millionaire, but I'm doing well for myself. I could do better. I could learn a bit more about money. I can learn a bit more about fitness. I can learn a bit more about relationships. I can learn a bit more about this, about that, whatever. I'm still doing good about myself. And you are too. You are too, okay? You gotta give yourself some credit at some point, because if you're just spiraling downwards and you can't get back up, it's going to wreck you. It's going to wreck you, okay? You just gotta have that balance between, all right, let's go have some fun, and hey, you gotta get some work done. You gotta sit down, meditate on this. I feel this discomfort in me. Don't distract yourself, all right? Put 100% focus into that, 100%. If there's not 100%, you won't find it. You need to sit down and, like, truly meditate on those symbols or feelings or symbols within you. Then you find that meaning, okay? And on the other hand, you need to play hard, because at some point, maybe you're having so much fun, you're high on life, you'll find those moments where it all makes sense. This is what it's about. I love doing this, okay? So, I don't really know where this video is going to go, but I just had a feeling where, like, yeah, there's a lot more to my life than what it already is. Like, I've had dreams where I'm living in a different part of the world at a house that just is the most beautiful house I've ever been to, or I'm working a job that I love. I'm influencing people that I want to be influenced. I'm making connections. I'm building relationships with people. I've had dreams of that, or visions, maybe like broad daylight, like this, like vision, like flashes of vision, and be like, wow, like, I want that, but I'm not exactly sure how to get it. I think a lot of people do too, so maybe that's just a bunch of ramblings, but I think there's a lot of, I think a lot of people relate to this. Maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. Maybe this won't get a lot of views, or maybe it will. I'm not too sure yet. But I just want to come on here and talk to you guys, because it's been on my mind a lot. And plus I want to make more YouTube videos. So, but yeah, anyway. I don't know where else to go with this, but my main thing here, guys, is to experience life. To go out there and experience life. Sit with discomfort at times. Don't try to escape it. Don't avoid it. Sit down with it, because that will give you enough insights to, oh, let me make this plan, then you take action. You have the thought, you don't listen to anything else but that thought, then you sit down with it. You make it generate energy, generate emotion, generate enough will to actually do something about it, and then that's when you take action. Those 3 steps, that's all it is. That's literally all it is. Sure, there's nuances in how to do things effectively. And that's where, people have their guides, people have their systems, right? But the base thing is, you gotta sit down and listen to that. Listen to that internal clock, or internal conscience, if you will, that inner voice. Maybe it's God, maybe it's just you, maybe it's someone else, I don't know. But listen to it. Just sit down, listen to it, then make the proper changes as you go. And while you're doing it, learn to have fun. Learn to go out there and have fun. because you're young. You're probably young if you're watching this. Go out and enjoy life. This whole hustle culture it makes, it can be great at times, but you're human. You'll have a full life to work hard on things, but you won't always have the energy 50 years from now. Maybe you will, but most of you probably won't. So go enjoy it now while you can, and experience the full spectrum of it. Work hard, have fun. Merge those together under the whole umbrella, and you'll be good. You'll be good. Okay? If you have any other questions, please let me know. I do have coaching spots available for those who, want to work on their physique. That's kind of what I mainly do because I'm a coach. But I also just want to tell you guys that if you need to talk to me about anything, please DM me on Instagram or wherever, because or if you have my number, personally, you can do that too. But my main thing with this YouTube channel is to have long format content like this. Maybe I was just rambling and I didn't really save much, but maybe I did. I just wanted to tell you guys that I appreciate you. I appreciate your patience. This is a long video, but so be it. I had to get this message out. So yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at wp.fitness_. I make a lot of training videos, philosophical posts, and sort of just lifestyle in general. That's sort of my niche is lifestyle. I'm a huge proponent of that. I love bodybuilding, and not professionally, but just building my body, my mind up. That's what I call bodybuilding. I love that stuff. I love lifestyle. I love philosophy, as you can tell. So that's just my whole shtick. So yeah, message me on there if you guys have any questions, or you can leave a comment down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope to make a lot more of these. So peace.